We have more information now on the investigation into how a woman was injured Sunday afternoon while waiting to ride Cedar Point's top thrill dragster. She was hit by a metal object that fell from the roller coaster as it passed above her.
Mark Namick has been following this story through the day today. He has the latest. What's the latest in all this?
Yeah, good afternoon. A police body camera offers some insight into what happened as well as the tragic chaos that followed. A park employee described seeing a bolt fly off the ride, and a patron described a large metal object the size of a cell phone that came off. Here's what they had to say.
There was something like this big that came off. Where it looked like the size of like a pop can, or like a pop, like the one in pop cups. Yeah. But then everybody said, "Oh, it must have been a phone that flew off."
No, that sounds terrible. And before we get to more on the actual investigation itself, do we know anything at all about the woman's condition? We haven't heard much at all on this.
Well, witnesses I talked to today were standing in line just in front of her on Sunday, and they were still there today as part of a vacation. And they said they did describe her getting hit in the head. It's a head wound. They said it was very serious. We don't know her identity or her condition right now. That's something that we are looking into, but for sure she is the main concern.
Absolutely. And, you know, that's a traumatic situation for everybody around to see something like that right in front of you. You think there's families and kids. I'm sure there's a lot of people trying to process everything that happened, but of course it all goes back to the investigation. What actually happened? Where do we stand on that?
Well, that's a great question. Investigators from the Ohio Department of Agriculture, which oversees ride safety, we've talked a lot about them relative to Tyler's Law. They were at Cedar Point all day Monday. They were gone today, but the department told me today, Betsy, that the investigation, of course, is ongoing. And today I received photos from those people that I spoke to, and they sent them in and they showed us the ribbon and the markings that the investigators put all along the track and on the cars that kind of identify where there might be some suspicious areas of the track. And I think we're going to go from there. We tried to reach out and talk to Cedar Point today about what their protocol is, because they don't rely on the state. They're checking rides every single day. They didn't want to talk about that or even how their medical response was handled.
Yeah. They do a total breakdown every winter. They tear every ride apart down to nuts and bolts and beyond, and then rebuild them to make sure everything is checked. So it's a pretty stringent process, but there are a lot of pieces parts.
For sure, and I think as Jay said right before the show, that maybe they have to look at maybe building some kind of canopies to protect riders. This is, you know, cell phones have fallen out of cars before, and now parts, so there's a lot more to come.
Oftentimes we are standing in line right underneath these rides, and it seems like it would be common sense, not only from the parts, but also to shield you from the baking sun, which we all have experienced a time or two. Okay, Mark, thank you very much.